Hi everybody, my name is Nathan, and we're here for round 4 with Old School Jeskai Geist. The reason I'm calling it old school, well not 100% old school, it's still fairly old school. But the old school version of the deck ran 4 remands. It had 2 5-drops, usually Batterskull and Thundermaw Hellkite, sometimes it was Karanos. No cryptic commands, no spell snares, an extra Electrolyze, and an extra click. So, while not completely old school, it brings back the 4 remands, it brings back the dragon. It's got the 3 angels. It's got electrolyzes in it. It has no Serum Visions. It has 25 lands, so it's pretty close. I've been happy with Spell Snare pre-ban. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it post. It's probably still fine. It's actually been really pretty good for me. I haven't been paying attention to it as much in the most recent games. But I'm a fan of having a little bit of extra counter magic in the main deck, and I'm a big fan of having at least a 1-off cryptic command to deal with problematic permanents and things, kind of like we saw in that game with Bantel Eldrazi. Anyway, so I managed to somehow, I managed to make a mistake somehow last night and accidentally go 4-1 in the competitive leagues. I was chatting with Jason Clark and Nick Hansen, 2 guys I talked to a lot about the deck, and here's what I did. So I have the competitive league that I've been playing with you guys, and the plan was just to go through the games and record them, and I somehow managed. But what I was also doing on the side was I was playing friendly leagues just for fun, and so last night I was a little tired, but I just still felt like playing Magic, so I got on here and thought I finished the friendly league, but it looks like I finished the competitive league, so I played our games. But here's what we're going to do. I just decided. You're going to get some double whammies here. I'm going to go through the replay, which I will try to do quickly, for the competitive league. And I'll do my best to talk us through them, just so we can finish that out. And as soon as I'm done today with walking through this, I will go ahead and just record a match in the friendly league that I was playing in. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to go find the game in my replays for moi. Okay, so let's see if the replay works. I wish there was a keystroke for this so I didn't have to click a lot. What if I just click play? I don't do the replays that often. It just keeps going? Okay, that's too fast. Okay, so I don't even know what we just did. Let's go back in here. All right, so we're just going to go through it the best way I know how, and I'm sorry about all the clicking. I'll try to move the mouse further away. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that I mulliganed this. And this is slow, but a more reasonable hand. I think I put the path on top. Does it say? Yeah, I put a card on top, and mainly because I was thinking, okay, I have a Geist, I have an Electrolyze, but I'm missing early interaction. So let's just get a path, and then if I, my thought process as well, then I can, if there's big creatures involved, I can clear the way for Geist. Or just if there's anything in the way of Geist, it gives me another way to make room for him, since obviously he's going to be my win condition this game. So I'm at this point, I'm thinking, all right, so I'm playing against some kind of Jeskai control deck here. We'll just go ahead and put this Colonnade into play. What the plan at this point would be against controls, we'll untap, play the island, and then pass with the intention of probably Vendilion Click at his end step. Our opponent could counter it, but what we really hope they do generally in that situation is we hope that they opt to save their counters for Click, and when it resolves, bolt it or something like that. That way we can still look at their hand, take their Mana Leak or their Remand or whatever counterspell it is they have, and play Geist of St. Traft. However, clearly, it was not. Now, I know that this deck is probably... Well, we'll discuss the deck after. Okay, so Super Glad kept the path on top. Path he tries to blade equipment, of course we path. Looks like they're not running any basics, so that's something to keep in mind. Now here, I would love to just slam Geist, but it's the kind of deck where if they happen to have another threat, they probably just have one because it's, you know, they only have 8 real things in their deck that actually like enable them to win. So it's definitely going to be better for us to click at the draw step here. Sure enough, Puresteel Paladin. The deck's not redundant. We definitely want to put that on the bottom. The deck's not super redundant. We definitely want to put that on the bottom. And then his hand just doesn't do anything. So obviously our plan from here is to kill him with Click and Geist in short order. But of course we clicked him into another combo piece. Thankfully for us, SRAM is kind of, well, he's different than Puresteel. He draws on the draw trigger, which is arguably better because Puresteel draws on the enter the battlefield trigger, the resolve when it resolves. But we only have this Electrolyze to potentially kill it, and Puresteel Paladin will make him just. Puresteel Paladin has the ability so everything equips for free, so he can make it really big. So we have more of a chance to be able to kill it if he doesn't, you know, give it like 10,000 toughness. But we'll see what happens here. So he equips this, and so unfortunately for us, that means our Electrolyze actually won't kill it. However, since we're playing Jeskai Geist, of course we have we draw Snapcaster Mage and we can path it. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so we obviously just path. I guess he forgot to search earlier because I'm pretty sure when we pathed him, he didn't get a basic, and now he's got 2 planes. That's kind of weird. So the reason I'm pathing now is mainly I'm just thinking, okay, I don't know if he has a way to interact, but he's tapped out. The deck doesn't run that many threats, so I just want to kill the threat when it's most likely that I can. That's my thinking. That was a misclick, by the way. I meant to attack with Vendilion Click there, and I just had a Magic Online, fumble. Accidentally clicked past the attacker phase, so I didn't attack. I was kind of a little worried that might come back to bite me. Opponent doesn't draw one of his pieces. We attack with Click and Snapcaster Mage, and then we're going to play Geist of St. Traff with Colonnade. That way we can represent the most things. We can represent bolts. We can represent paths. Opponent Serum Visions. Managed to find another one of his important combo pieces. But so much of these actions happen at sorcery speed. And I think from the click, I might have even known what was in his hand. So I was I could have just pathed, but I think I was fine to just let him. Oh, I meant to path at the end step there. That was another. I accidentally clicked past. Didn't seem like it was going to matter though. Okay, so that was game 1 against Puresteel Paladin combo or Cheerios or whatever you want to call that deck. Seems like a good matchup for us. I mean, we are we're Jeskai, so we're like removal spells deck. So it seems like it would be difficult for them. I wanted to keep this. Surgical seems good here because they if you can, kill a Puresteel Paladin and Surgical, they suddenly only have like 4 more combo pieces in their deck. You might even have an opportunity to kill another one and then snap this thing, and then their deck does nothing. So I definitely brought it in, but that hand was not a keep. I think I had to mulligan this hand again, or as well, unfortunately. This is good. We have the piece of interaction that we need. We have a way to blow up all of his permanents. I probably kept that land. Yeah, I did. When I say permanents, Engineered Explosives on 0, once he gets all of his equipment out there, one of the things that they do is they play Retract, and they put all the equipment back in their hand and they replay them so they can draw more and cast more spells. So I was very much interested in just in having this Explosives. I could have played it there, but I didn't necessarily want to. It didn't seem necessary yet. We have the bolt as interaction, and I think it was a little more beneficial to conserve that information. Clicking millions of times. See, this is what I don't get. So I've clicked, it's not doing anything. So I guess it's just, is it playing through real time? I have no idea. What if I click this button? Oh gosh, stop that. Okay. So now, so I clicked that. So now if I, but it didn't do anything. So I got a Sacred Foundry. And I think here I decided to go ahead and just get it out there. I can't remember what my reasoning was. I probably could have just... It actually might have been better to wait because he's on 2 mana, right? So we could have let him play out his thing. But I doesn't really think it really matters because if he plays one of the draw dudes, one of the knights or whatever they are, so here because we have all the interaction, it's fine to just wait to click till the end of his turn. What I was going to say, since we have so much interaction, he's just going to, if he has a combo piece, we're not going to like let him cast all the spells. As soon as he puts one on the stack, we're going to kill it anyway. So it's not like we are going to gain a lot by letting him play it all out and then like be like, surprise, explosives, kill all your equipment. We don't really want him to cast all his equipment with one of the creatures on the board. So there's probably actually, in that situation, I think it was a fine time to play it. There's probably not too much to gain by concealing that information. Click Shining, doing its job here. He has a Retract. He has the equipment. He has a Puresteel. We take it, obviously. Restoration Angel is a good draw. It's going to allow us to interact favorably with our Vendilion Click against what he's doing. At some point, anyway, we should be able to bounce it and take a threat. That button? Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'm not going to hit that button anymore. So he plays a SRAM. We bolt. He puts this on the stack. We bolted in response. Drew another land. Great. So we attack. So our opponent Noctis Revivals, and this was kind of interesting. So I thought for a moment about playing Restoration Angel because we can just blink the click and take it out of his hand. But my thought was, well, what if he has 2, right? Like, what if he did draw into another one? Now we go totally shields down, and he can do whatever he wants. I decided to just go ahead and use the bolt in hand. He gets it back again. I could have just it probably would have been a little bit better to use the bolt in the graveyard because now my Snapcaster Mage would be, I would be attacking him for 5. And actually that would have, let's see, we still couldn't kill him. He would be now at 4. And so then a Restoration Angel blinking the Snapcaster Mage puts him to 1. So I still think it was probably a little bit better, but like now we would have had a Resto and a Bolt in hand, and we would have been able to cast both those spells this turn. Whereas now, like it would have used our mana more efficiently on that turn. And we, even if he had another one, we still would have been able to go Snapcast. We would have been able to go Snapcaster Mage Bolt, and if he played another one, we still have the Bolt in hand. So now, by doing it the other way, now if he plays this, the Snapcaster Mage is a Bolt, and we get to not only bolt the SRAM, but we get to deploy our Restoration Angel, blinking Vendilion Click, making sure that he's, at the end of turn, whatever the case is. So this is the moment he plays anything, we bolt in response, and that was the game. So I know a lot of people were excited about this deck, and I know that it won a big tournament, but I've played actually this match I want to say 3 times on Magic Online, and I'm either 3-0 or 4-0 against the deck, and every single game has gone just like this. Their combo is super fragile. At least, I'm sure for against decks that don't have a lot of removal, it can be good, but Bolt's one of the most played cards in Modern, so I feel like it's definitely fighting an uphill battle. My opinion is that the deck is powerful in the right meta, but in a meta of mid-rangey decks that have a lot of ways to interact with it, I can't imagine it's super great. Sure, they can draw their silence and wait to go off and then just cast silence, and assuming it resolves, they can do whatever they want, but unless things line up like that for them, it doesn't seem great. That's just my opinion. Okay, so that's how, in that competitive league, we're now sitting 4-0. I guess you could see the results yourself, but let's go ahead and go to our friendly league here that I was playing just for fun and queue up a match with which I believe is basically the same deck. Yeah, it looks like it is. I just couldn't get enough. I had to simultaneously record a competitive league and play a friendly league. Did my preview window go away, or is it just here? Oh, no, there it is. Okay. I don't need to make you guys wait for this. Hold on. Okay, so we got a match here. We won the die roll, so let's play first. Yeah, I think this is fine. A removal spell or something would be nice, but remand into Geist of St. Traft is more or less the kind of thing that we want to do. We're just going to lead with Island here, then all of our next lands come in untapped. Actually, we're looking pretty good if we don't need to do... Alright, so now, let's see. Snapcaster Mage. We don't need this at all, so I want to conserve a little bit more information. Hopefully our opponent does something like play a Serum Visions or something. If we had a Snapcaster Mage and he just represented 2 mana, I would absolutely run that Snapcaster Mage at the end of turn. At this point, it's a little dicier. He has this Ancestral Vision coming off Suspend. Spirebluff Canal. He's definitely not a Delver deck if he's playing Ancestral Vision. I just hate the idea of running Geist of St. Trash straight into Counter Magic. It seems so bad. He's such a good card, and I just hate to throw it away that way. I think we just play the Colonnade and pass. It's just he's probably in a blue-red type matchup. He's going to be one of our strongest cards. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be Grixis Control. Which, if I knew that, I would have done it, because a lot of those lists these days are not running 2 mana counters. So with that in mind, I mean, he could be on whatever list, but I think I'm just going to jam here. Especially now that we have 2. Although, yeah, let's just jam. Let's just hope for the best. The Corey Burkhart lists aren't running 2 mana counters. They're running Cryptic Commands, right. So we really probably could have resolved our guys if we knew that we were playing Grixis, but we didn't know. Alright, so our opponent could also untap and Tasigur, which would be kind of annoying. But if he does that, we have this Restoration Angel, and again, if we're going on the assumption that our opponent's not playing 2 mana counters, then he won't have Cryptic Command mana up. This is going to be like a... Okay, so he's going to Thought Scour. That's still kind of fine. Because, I mean... So, if he plays a 4th land... What is this coming down to? 2. If he plays a 4th land and Tasigurs, he's going to have 3 mana up, which should still... So, let's think here. We're definitely going to play the castle. Oh, and we have another piece of interaction. So what I like to do is just click the castle and then hit number 1 to just quickly try to move phases, and hopefully that my opponent didn't notice. Opponent's pausing, so I'm assuming that he sees. Maybe he wants to like Cryptic Bounce the Angel. Be kind of cool if he just lets this go. The one benefit to bolting is that... Alright, well, we're going to activate the castle then. I mean, how can we not? That's what it's here for. What I was going to say, the benefit to bolting is that it allows us to potentially kill a Snapcaster Mage and cast Restoration Angel, but... Opponent wants to return our Colonnade. Yeah, I'm not... I mean, it's annoying, but I'm not super concerned about that. I even have this plane so that I can then just play to deploy the castle. It kind of makes sequencing a little weird, but I'm certainly not going to fight over this. I kind of almost don't want to fight over this either, though. Let's see... I'm assuming our opponent has something like a Cryptic, or he may even have a Counter Squall. If we remand this and our opponent Cryptics, then we get to bolt our opponent and attack with Geist, so we get to do 9 and put him to 4. Yeah, I'm going to do it because it also means that our opponent has to use mana on their turn if they want to resolve this Ancestral Vision. I think I'm just going to bolt our opponent here. So now, our opponent already has a Swamp, so if he wants to play this Tasker, he's going to have to take 2. Let's see. And opponent has to discard. So opponent has lots of cards. This is going to put him to 1. Which is really tempting. Like, really tempting. It gives us so many live draws. It means he can't crack it. Yeah, I think we just have to do that. I mean... It gets him so close to dead and makes his life so much more difficult. Like, being at 1 is hard. Being at 1 is difficult. Alright, well, our opponent's going to miss. He's going to go to 3. I mean... That doesn't really seem that... What did he discard? Discarded Steam Vents. Doesn't seem great. I mean... He... goes to Bolt range. I guess now we can't kill him with Electrolyze. I mean, it's fine. He gets the information. He knows he can deploy his Tasigur. But he can't... Like, if he can't deploy... He cannot deploy Tasigur... So we have another Geist of St. Traft, and I would love to get this Colonnade online, but if our opponent goes, like, I guess we can probably just play the other one. So if we play the Colonnade, and our opponent, like, plays a Snapcaster Mage, then we can't protect our Geist of St. Traft. Our opponent could go, if he plays a Snapcaster Mage, then he really can't, like, well, he could potentially, if he is running Mana Leaks and whatnot, he could ambush the ambush the Geist of St. Traft. He could ambush Geist and then counter the one that we replay. I think this. I think we can just attack, because if he does that, we can also potentially then resolve a Restoration Angel, and our opponent's going to have to kill the Angel token that's attacking. So let's just move in here. Okay, opponent's at 2. I guess he's going to snap Terminate. It might seem weird, but I'm like kind of okay with this, because now we get to develop this colonnade, we get to put another Geist into play, and he's in the same position as he was previously. But now we have the opportunity to attack him with a colonnade and a Geist of St. Traft, which we don't even really need to attack him with the colonnade. We just can send the Geist in to do battle. The other option there was to get the Restoration Angel online, but I guess if our opponent's running main deck Anger, then this could also be bad for us. Yeah, so I don't think it's correct to just alpha right now. Like, we have lethal from Geist and from a Angel token. So I think it's right to just go ahead and attack and make our opponent deal with these things. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So we're attacking. That was my wife. I had to do something for her. Okay, so pass priority here. Our opponent is going to 1. Okay, deal 2 damage, return to Snapcaster Mage. Snapcaster Mage gets something, nothing. Thought Scour? Guess we'll just see here. So he's either has a bolt or he's Thought Scouring to find a bolt. Yeah, so we're gonna activate the castle. Yeah, so he's finishing that off. Opponent's kind of burning through some resources, trying to deal with our friend here. So this is kind of why I have the Shinka in the deck, because we could basically do the same thing right now to that Snapcaster Mage if we had Shinka, the Blood-Soaked Keep. Oh, and he milled over like one of his only answers to our Geist. Okay, Geist wins the day in this matchup as he normally does. Probably want to. Here's the funny thing about Grixis, right? Like, we don't want to be on the Ancestral Plan as much. We can't really go toe to toe with them in that department. But let's see what if we just brought everything in. What would we like to bring in? Surgicals are. it's something to consider. The fact that they thought scour a lot of stuff into their yard makes it interesting. We probably Dragon is another like maybe. The thing is, it's like we don't really want to try to resolve 5-mana sorcerer speed threats against them if we can help it. So Click is another interesting one as well because it does it's easy for it to get 2-for-1. So what don't we like? We want to keep the paths. I like Electrolyzes in these kind of matchups because they can take care of Snapcaster Mages, but it's also nice to just on 3 be able to do 2 damage and cantrip just to kind of keep up the card velocity. We really don't need the burn as much against them at all. We really probably don't need as many bolts. I mean, they do go upstairs, but they're not really doing much else. The remands seem good. The Click, yeah, I kind of want to keep all the flash stuff for sure. If we took out a Hellkite, we definitely want this package, which leaves us 2 more cards. Could bring in this stuff here. It's just we can't really grind with Grixis, right? Like they have the whole Snapcaster recursion package. We don't want to completely get rid of our bolts because we may need them to help punch the Geist through, but I feel like they're just going to the face, and this stuff is probably more fighting on the axis that we'd want to be fighting on. We could trim and Electrolyze for a surgical, but I mean, like if they, it's a big if. It gives us hand. It could potentially give us hand information, but I don't think that's really what we want. Let's give this a try here. Is it Staticaster is not even horrible. I brought in when is it Staticaster against decks that only have. We're gonna keep this. Don't really want to mull against them. Has 3 lands. I brought in Is it Staticaster against decks like just as a one of just for the Snapcaster Mages, and it's been pretty good. So what we like to draw, Ancestral Visions would be pretty good. Obviously, Geist would be good. That's what we're really looking for is a Geist of Saint Traff. We're not running Serum Visions, so that's like, that's I don't really think it's right to be completely absent from Serum Visions and just rely on the remands. I mean, you certainly can. It's a thing you are allowed to do, but what is our opponent gonna play here? Huh. Okay, he's going to go for the turn 2 Tasigur. We're really going to need to draw a Path to Exile very quickly. That is not a Path to Exile. Let's just play this for now. Yeah, I don't think I want to waste our mana on that. Although it was almost, we could have. We really need to draw this path. I don't think it's completely right not to run Serum Visions. I'm not even sure I finished that thought completely, but another Spell Snare. We could have shocked. I don't think we need to, though. I mean, I don't think our opponent is going to try to... I can't imagine he's going to really be tapping this mana too much because he's going to want to protect this Tasigur. If you play Snapcaster Mage, we will Spell Snare it. Alright, so... Now we're sort of on the... We could potentially bounce this thing. So our opponent's going to Fulminator Mage. Okay. Alright. We're going to try to return this. Hope he doesn't have the Dispel. He does. I would almost consider like flashing in Snapcaster Mage and giving Cryptic Command a flashback, but we don't have the mana to do that. We don't have any reason to float. I mean, I can float just for the sake of it, but God, I have not been just totally crushed by an early Tasigur in quite some time. Let's just go to game 3. I don't think we're going to win this match. Still with the paths. I think this is fine. All right. Grixis is a good matchup for this deck, primarily because we're flash, we can play at their end step, Geist of Saint Trap, but not having a way to deal with such an early Tasigur is obviously a downside. Or is if you just don't have a way to deal with early Tasigur, it can be really hard to beat. We're going to keep this hand. Really want to draw that third land here. Land. Oh man, that's annoying. So if our opponent Thought Scours, I'm absolutely not going to remand it, even though I desperately need to draw a card. I will, however, if our opponent tries to play Tasigur, obviously. That's yeah, we're gonna take a lot of. Well, let's see. What do we really need to take? We have a lot less red in the deck than we did before. So I guess we could just, because we have like a bull. We're pretty much just we're much more of a blue-white deck. We do have like a bolt. I'm looking over here. We got bolt. We got electrolyze. So I think I could probably just get Plains and Island. Now this seems silly, but I mean we really need to draw. We really need to draw a land. We need to draw a land, and we need to play this Geist of Saint Traft. All right, things are not looking great. All right. I'm not going to counter this one. Our opponent could very easily just put that in the yard, get a Watery Grave, play Tasigur, and we'd be in annoying shape. I'd much rather have the opportunity to remand the Tasigur. So, God, this sounds really bad. I'm really tempted to just... I think I'm going to just flash and snap here. It's not doing anything for us right now. We don't have much to flash back with it. Yeah, and if we had held on to it, it would be stranded in our hand. Now this is something that I feel happens way less often with the version running Serum Visions. I mean, sure, it happens, but we're relatively well. That only destroys a non-basic, but I'm gonna just cycle here just so I can try to draw something. My gosh. So here comes the Tassiger, which we do have a path for, but gosh dang, man. Okay, well, we're gonna do this now, silly as that is, and we're gonna suspend this Ancestral. This game's getting exceptionally hard to win. Drew all 3 angels. Like, we drew basically every 4-drop in our deck. Let's see. So what did our opponent do there? So he returned a Snapcaster Mage. All right, well, it is what it is. It's a shame that we had to use our Romance to try and find lands. Well, same situation applies. I'm just going to flash this in, and if he wants to trade his Fulminator for my Snap, I guess I'm kind of okay with that. I guess he can just blow this thing up. Well, probably we're almost assuredly going to lose this game. We're exceptionally behind. Our opponent has way more mana than we do. They have way more cards. They're killing our dudes. They're going to upkeep kill or kill now our Celestial Colonnade, almost assuredly. They have Cryptic Command mana up. I guess we get to flash in a click, or attempt to. Don't do this now. Let me use the mana from this on your turn, because I'm definitely clicking on their turn. Either way, I'm doing it. Snapcaster Mage. Targeting Thought Scour. Sure. All right. We will go ahead with said plan here. Take a look over there. My wife just got home. One moment. So I think we have to take this terminate.
Did you feed everything on? Did you do
Hold. Okay. That's all straightened out. So, our opponent has Cryptic Command. Man, this is gonna be tough to navigate, if navigatable at all. Um, I'm tempted to just. If we take the Cryptic and play our Geist, the only way our opponent can really answer it is to Damnation or Anger, which is not that we want him to do that. But that means that he then kind of has to deal with he has to kill his own dudes as well. And we also have this Ancestral Visions coming off next turn. So we want that to resolve for us. So I think we just take the Cryptic Command. Okay, so our opponent terminates that. Oh, I should have screenshot his hand. Such a noob. Okay. Let's see. His Fulminators are pretty annoying. So I guess one option we have is we do this, we play Geist, and just go from there. We don't have to discard, thankfully. Yeah, I don't think we block. If our opponent's probably just gonna like Wrath or something here, or Anger. I don't think he's gonna let us attack back for 6. I just can't imagine that happening. Yeah, we're gonna let that happen. And I'm going to path our Geist of Saint Traft. So now we have Cryptic for his Ancestral Vision. Might have a Snapcaster Mage in hand, but he doesn't have any counter magic in the yard. So we know he also has the Damnation in his hand. So we might have Snap Terminate for our Angel. Tasigur, I guess. Yeah, it's annoying. So let's see. Our options are to path. We can counter and bounce the Tasigur. And then we technically still have access. I mean, we still have an opportunity to, like, we have Snap Path for the Tasigur. But if we can live, we're really far ahead of our opponent on cards right now. We're definitely going to pass here. None of these are good at all. I think we have to give him a Fulminator Mage, unfortunately. Oh, wait, but we knew he had a Snapcaster Mage and we knew he put a Dispel in the yard. That was really stupid. Like we knew he had a Snapcaster Mage. I said it earlier, so I just gave him an opportunity to. Yeah, we're just gonna quit this game because that was a terrible play. Oh my gosh. Okay, so sorry, that was totally just awful on my end, and I think we're gonna lose that game because of it. Not think 100% sure. Okay, well, so now we in the competitive league. Well, in the competitive league, I went 4-1, but I am functionally. If I hadn't done that and you guys had just the match I recorded, we would be 4-0. In this league, it's 3-1. I gotta run. I gotta go do stuff with my wife. She just got home. So thank you for watching and all that stuff. I will talk to you guys tomorrow.